Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12 of the 9 Minute Podcast. I am Dr. Packer, and thank you very much for joining me. No matter what stream of social media that you're on, but especially for those, that are on YouTube, you can always smash the bell and subscribe so that you get the uploads every time. And thank you very much all across all of the social media streams, and appreciative for all the words and the encouragement and even some of the criticism that comes. Because, even when you're criticized, um, before you just dismiss it, take a minute and read it and see, is there anything in there that possibly you could work on, and make that, even if they mean it as destructive criticism, you can then take it and make it constructive criticism. Because you can say, well, yeah, I have seen that in myself. And then you can begin to identify it and work on it. So I just want to say thank you. And I appreciate everybody that tunes in and likes and comments and lets me know. It is much appreciated. So I wanted to talk to you here on this particular podcast, episode 12. We've done a dozen of these now. And it goes along with the other things that I upload, the 3-minute shorts that I upload, and then also on the weekends, the actual messages that I preach and teach from the chapel services. But this week I was having a conversation with a man. He's got me a little bit as far as age goes. He's just turned 60, and he is a professional musician. His group travels all the time, and they do dinner parties and weddings and anything, that you would need a band for. They've done it. They have a booking agency. So it's not just a fly by night, not like the college garage band. He's a legitimate musician. And we were talking, he has church in his background. And he asked me a question that was really poignant. He said, what would you right now say to the younger you? If you could give one piece of advice, what would you say? Now, this is something we see all the time, right? We hear people talk about this on social media, on TV programs. We see the memes. What would you go back and tell your 19-year-old self? What would you tell your 16-year-old self? And so there are several things I would go back and tell myself. Several things. There would be several people that I would say, let that one go. Don't talk to that one. Leave that alone. But he said, no, think about just one thing. One thing. And I did have to think about it. And I mulled it over. And here's what I've come up with. And you think about this as well, too. What would you go back, knowing what you know now? You can step back into the time machine, go back, find your younger self, and tell yourself one thing. Here's mine. Enjoy the journey more than the destination. That's what I would tell myself. Because getting to where you want to go, when you get to the destination, you get there, it's everything you thought it would be. Sometimes it's not. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's not what you thought it would be, but you get there and you get the job, you get the relationship, you get the car, you get whatever it is. And then you wasted so much time as you were getting there, you didn't learn the lessons and you didn't enjoy the scenery along the way. You didn't enjoy the scenery along the way. You missed out on something. You did not get it because the lessons are not learned in the destination. The lessons are learned in the travel. And man, that's something, I could have said that at 18 years old, and it would have just been a plain 100% cliche. But right now, when I say that, I can only say that from being on this planet for 54 years, being in the ministry 41 years. I can only say that the destination is what gives you the lessons. I had a conversation. I was a young man, and I was on staff as I was an intern to a church with over 1,000 members. Dr. Donnie Smith, who's now gone on to be with the Lord. Dr. Donnie Smith told me in 20 years of pastoring, I'll never forget this. We were sitting in his office one day. We were about to go eat dinner. We're just sitting there talking, and he just, in the course of conversation, goes, in 20 years of pastoring, every lesson, and he said it, every lesson that I've learned came out of a mistake that I made. And I don't know why, as just a young intern listening to that, I thought, whoa. Because, as a pastor, you're not supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to always make the call. You're supposed to always be the guy in charge. You're supposed to always be the guy that has the answers. And he was confessing to me that this 1,000-member church that he was at, 3 services on Sunday, plus he had his doctorates as well. And he was part of the reason that inspired me to go get mine as well. I was in college. I was right here. You can see that right there. That's my associate's degree. And I was working on my associate's degree while being an intern. And he was all of this. In the denomination, he was well known. He was on the executive board for the state. He was introduced to speak at different places. They had him speak at camp meetings and conferences. So he was no joke. And here he is telling me that he learned all the lessons that he learned that makes everybody around him be so impressed because of 20 years of mistakes. And as he was telling me that, I was thinking to myself, whoa, I got a lot of mistakes too. And little did I know then I had many more to make. But it's along the journey. It's along the way to the destination that we see, we learn, we hurt. We hurt people and they hurt us. And we feel the struggle and we feel the pain. So I would tell myself, and I'm telling all of us,